Welcome to the Anxiety Coaches Podcast, a relaxing and informative show where we explore anxiety, panic, and PTSD, sharing how you can overcome them for life.
Aloha! Welcome back to the Anxiety Coaches Podcast. I'm your host and coach, Gina Ryan, and I am so happy to be with you again today as together we can consider the many ways to bring your mind and body back to its natural peace and calm. In today's episode, I'm talking about how mindfulness benefits our bodies, not just our minds. And I thought this was important because a lot of people kind of gloss over mindfulness because they think it's just about their mind, and they may think they have that all locked up already or figured out. But mindfulness is a whole person experience, and it is so important to our bodies as well as our minds. So I thought it was important to talk about today. I have an article here that I'm going to pull some little pieces out of. It was by Jill Sudi, and it was originally in Lion's Roar. So if you are interested in any Buddhist kind of philosophy, you could look into Lion's Roar. They have a great newsletter that comes out, so you could find them on the internet. So the article starts out by saying, according to thousands of years of tradition, Buddhists meditate to understand themselves and their connections to all beings. By doing so, they hope to be released from suffering and ultimately gain enlightenment. In recent decades, researchers have been gaining insight into the benefits of practicing this ancient tradition. By studying more secular versions of mindfulness meditation, they've found that learning to pay attention to our current experiences and accept them without judgment might indeed help us to be happier. Studies to date suggest that mindfulness affects many aspects of our psychological well-being, improving our mood, increasing positive emotions, and decreasing our anxiety, emotional reactivity, and job burnout. End of quote. Now, while many people understand the benefits of meditation for their well-being, they often don't take the opportunity to add this precious practice into their daily routine. So I thought perhaps coming from the physical benefits approach will make it easier for some of you to sit. So here we go. Here's some of the physical benefits of mindfulness meditation. The article says, does mindfulness affect our bodies as well as our minds? And it goes on to say, recently researchers have been exploring this question with some surprising results. While much of the early research on mindfulness relied on pilot studies with biased measures or limited groups of participants, more recent studies have been using less biased psychological markers and randomly controlled experiments to get the answer. Taken together, the studies suggest that mindfulness may impact our hearts, brains, immune systems, and more. Nothing suggests mindfulness is a standalone treatment for disease, nor the most important ingredient for a healthy life. Here are some of the ways that it appears to benefit us physically. End of quote. So, some of the ways that it's helpful for us is that mindfulness is, as it turns out from these studies, good for our hearts. And heart disease, as we all know, is a leading killer in the United States, accounting for about 1 in every 4 deaths. So, if you can decrease the risks of symptoms or the symptoms of heart disease, wouldn't you want to do that? And mindfulness may help with that. One study where they took people who had hypertension, actually they had pre-hypertension, and they were randomly assigned to add to their drug treatment a course of mindfulness meditation or progressive muscle relaxation. Those who learned the mindfulness had significantly greater reductions in their systolic and diastolic blood pressure than those who learned the muscle relaxation, suggesting that mindfulness could help people at risk for heart disease by bringing their blood pressure down. This is a great news because we do have some control over these parts of our body. And if we can do the things that help, why wouldn't we? Now I'm going to jump down to another helper here. Mindfulness may decrease cognitive decline from aging or Alzheimer's. The article says people tend to lose some of their cognitive flexibility and short-term memory as they age. But mindfulness may be able to slow cognitive decline even in people with Alzheimer's disease. In a 2016 study, people with Alzheimer's disease engaged in either mindfulness meditation, cognitive stimulation therapy, relaxation training, or no treatment, and they were given cognitive tests over 2 years. While cognitive stimulation and relaxation training seem to be somewhat beneficial in the comparison to no treatment, the mindfulness training group had much more robust improvements on cognitive scores than any other group. So why might that be true? Looking at brain function in healthy older adults suggests meditation may increase attention. In this study, people 55 to 75 years old spent 8 weeks practicing either focused breathing meditation or a control activity. And then they were given the Stroop test, a test that measures attention and emotional control while having their brains monitored. Those undergoing breath training had significantly better attention on the Stroop test and more activation in an area of the brain associated with attention than those in the active control group. While this research is preliminary, a systematic review of research to date suggests that mindfulness may mitigate cognitive decline, perhaps due to its effects on memory, attention, processing, and executive functioning. End of quote. So I hope that you are seeing that this could be good for not only your emotions, not only your mind, the thoughts, but for your body, to be able to affect your health, the health of your body, by doing your mindfulness meditation. This is a big deal, and it makes it even more appealing to you, I hope. Now, before I get to the rest of the physical attributes that mindfulness meditation can offer you, I want to thank today's sponsors. Today we have Element. Element is a tasty electrolyte drink mix with everything that you need and nothing that you don't. That means a lot of salt, no sugar. Element is formulated to help anyone with their electrolyte needs. And I have to tell you, I have had all of the flavors, and my favorite ones are the lemon habanero and the mango chili. I don't know why, but I love the spicy. Now, I also want to tell you they have other unique flavors such as chocolate salt, which was pretty cool too. But they also have all of the typical flavors, the citrus flavors and so forth. So there's so many to choose from. I'm sure you will find a favorite. Electrolytes play a critical role in many health conditions and serve other functions as well, such as brain and mental health, regulating appetite, and curbing cravings. Get your free Drink Element sample pack. Drink Element is a healthy alternative to sugary electrolyte drinks. Each grab-and-go stick pack replaces essential electrolytes with no sugar, no coloring, no artificial ingredients, or any junk. As a member of our community, Element has a very special offer for you. Claim your free Element Sample Pack. You only cover the cost of shipping. Get yours here. drinkelement.com/ACP. That's drinklmnt.com/ACP. drinkelement.com/ACP. And Calm is with us. For this ad break, we want you to take a break. Unclench your jaw, relax your shoulders, and take a deep breath with me. Sometimes all we need is a reminder to take a little time for ourselves, and Calm can help. We're partnering with Calm, the #1 mental wellness app, to give you the tools that improve the way you feel. Clear your head with guided daily meditations, improve your focus with Calm's curated music tracks, and drift off to dreamland with Calm's imaginative sleep stories. If you go to calm.com/ACP, you'll get, for a limited time, 40% off a Calm premium subscription, which includes hundreds of hours of programming, and new content is added every week. Sleep more, stress less, live better with Calm. For listeners of the show, Calm is offering a special limited time promotion of 40% off a Calm premium subscription at calm.com/ACP. Go to calm.com/ACP for 40% off unlimited access to Calm's entire library. That's calm.com/ACP. And now back to our why meditation is good for the body ideas here. Let's get back to this list. Mindfulness may improve your immune system. And I'm going to quote this from the article. When we encounter viruses and other disease-causing organisms, our bodies send out troops of immune cells that circulate in the blood. These cells, including pro- and anti-inflammatory proteins, neutrophils, T cells, immunoglobulins, and natural killer cells, help us to fight disease and infection in various ways. Mindfulness, it turns out, may affect these disease-fighting cells. In several studies, mindfulness meditation appeared to increase levels of T cells, or T cell activity, in patients with HIV or breast cancer. These suggest that mindfulness could play a role in fighting cancer and other diseases that call upon immune cells. Indeed, in people suffering from cancer, mindfulness appears to improve a variety of biomarkers that might indicate progression of the disease. And that's the end of the quote for that one. Wouldn't that be awesome to be able to increase our immune systems by using our meditation? It's almost like the little bit of time you can spend in meditation can benefit you in so many ways. The payback is incredible, and it is certainly worth trying if you haven't started yet. Let's see what else is on this list. Mindfulness may reduce cell aging. I'll quote here from the article. Cell aging, marked by cell shortening, occurs naturally as cells repeatedly divide over the lifespan and can also be increased by disease or stress. Proteins called telomeres, which are found at the ends of the cells and serve to protect cells from aging, seem to be impacted by mindfulness meditation. Studies suggest that long-term meditators may have greater telomere lengths. In one experimental study, researchers found that breast cancer survivors who went through MBSR preserved, that's mindfulness-based stress reduction program. When they went through that program, it preserved the length of their telomeres better than those who were on a wait list. However, this study also found that general supportive therapies impacted telomere length, so there may not be something special about MBSR that impacts the cell aging. On the other hand, another study with breast cancer survivors found no difference in telomere length after taking an MBSR course, but they did find differences in telomere activity, which is also related to cell aging. In fact, a 2018 review of research ties mindfulness training to an increased telomere activity, suggesting it indirectly affects the integrity of the telomeres in our cells. Perhaps that's why scientists are at least optimistic about the positive effects of mindfulness on aging. Now, I think that anything that can help us to preserve the integrity of our cells and the length of our telomeres, it sounds like a good plan. And another reason why spending that small amount of time in your meditation, you want to get to where you're meditating 20 minutes a day, maybe twice a day, or a longer one-time sit, but you want to get to that. But it's okay to be starting at 1 minute, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Give yourself a break to settle into this. You want to make sure that you are developing the habit first. So sitting for 3 minutes every day is better than sitting for a half hour here and there, right? Just willy-nilly. 3 minutes. I shared with a client today to sit in peace. SIP, like take a sip. Sit in peace for 3 minutes. Set your timer. Sit down. Or sit down first. Relax your muscles a little bit. Get comfortable. And then set your timer. 3 minutes. You can even do it verbally. Say to the timer, set timer for 3 minutes. It's awesome. 3 minutes. Sit in peace. Just sit there with a peaceful thought. Just knowing that you're sitting there for your health, for your well-being is awesome. Think of that. 3 minutes, you can do it. Oh, I do have another one here on my list. I should get this one in before I close up. Mindfulness may help reduce psychological pain. So I will read here from the article. Of course, while the above physiological benefits of mindfulness are compelling, we needn't forget that mindfulness also impacts our psychological well-being, which in turn affects our physical health. In fact, it's quite likely that these changes have synergistic effects on one another. First of all, a great deal of research suggests that mindfulness can help healthy people reduce their stress. And thanks to Jon Kabat-Zinn's pioneering MBSR program, there's now a large body of research showing that mindfulness can help people cope with pain, anxiety, depression, and stress that might accompany illness, especially chronic conditions. For example, drug addictions at heart come about because of physiological cravings for a substance that relieves people temporarily from their psychological suffering. Mindfulness can be a useful adjunct to addiction treatment by helping people better understand and tolerate their cravings, potentially helping them to avoid relapse after they've been safely weaned off drugs or alcohol. The same is true for people struggling with overeating. Fascinating though it is, we shouldn't overplay meditation's effects on physical health at the expense of its importance on emotional health. In fact, it may be difficult to separate out the two, as a key impact of mindfulness is stress reduction, and psychological stress has been tied to heart health, immune response, and telomere length. This idea is further supported by the fact that other stress-reducing therapies also seem to impact physical health as well. Still, it's encouraging to know that something that can be taught and practiced can have an impact on our overall health, not just mental, but also physical. More than 2,000 years after it was developed, that's reason enough to give mindfulness meditation a try. I really hope that concentrating on the idea of physical health being impacted by your mindfulness meditation will get you to sit down and spend the time with your mind It's good for your body and it's good for your mind. And you can start with 1 or 3 minutes a day. Again, try that sit in peace. Take a little sip. You're going to have a little sip of the divine, so to speak. Sit down, be with yourself for 3 minutes, letting yourself recall your mantra, a positive statement, or a short prayer. That's all. Just develop the habit of 3 minutes a day, and we can go on from there. I hope this show has been helpful for you. I love spending time with you. That's it for today's episode. And before I read today's quote, I want to remind you that if you want more than what's offered here and more personal guidance, you might be ready for our group coaching membership program. It's a deeper dive into what you learn here on these episodes. Each month, you'll receive 2 anxiety clearing skill sheets sent in email. You'll also receive 2 live group coaching calls, which are recorded in case you can't attend. Those will help guide you through your challenges. And there's also a secret Facebook group for coach and community support every day, all month long. So if you're ready for more, go to anxietycoachespodcast.com/group-coaching and join today. I'd love to see you in the group. And now for today's quote. Mindfulness is a way of befriending ourselves and our experience, and that's from Jon Kabat-Zinn. I'll be back in a few more days with another podcast. Until then, be well and aloha.
Thanks so much for joining us for today's episode of the Anxiety Coaches Podcast. Find more information at theanxietycoachespodcast.com.